Why has nobody moved from Manchester United yet in this transfer window? What is INEOS' strategy? Well, there is a big dilemma now on the plate of INEOS, and they do need to make some big decisions. A few things that have happened around the transfers of players leaving Manchester United have kind of scuppered the original plan. Do they have to rethink it? What's happening with Antony? We're going to touch on that first of all this morning. We do have updates on Marcus Rashford and Garnacho again from late last night from the Italian side of things. Something has gone wrong with the Rashford deal, but also on the Rashford situation as well. Why is he so isolated? What is going on at Carrington, and why INEOS need to make this happen and are going to have to take some form of a hit. Proof in the market in deals that have already happened kind of embarrass INEOS a little bit on what's happening right now. After looking into a bit of detail, I'm going to talk to you all about the Moani deal and what's happened with Juventus. There is things that can happen. INEOS are going to have to swallow some pride and probably a few pound notes to make things happen for Ruben Amorim in this window. All of that to come in this show. Welcome along to Forever United TV, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. Tomorrow night we do get United back out on the pitch, and we're looking forward to seeing how we actually perform against a small club. It's all right playing the big guns. We will see. We're going to touch on that maybe a little bit as to who we might actually see playing in that game. Obviously, Dello suspended. Press conference for Ruben Amorim later on. We'll have that covered for you all as well. So stay tuned and make sure you have subscribed and hit that bell notification as well, so you're informed of all the content coming up. I want to start the show today with Antony. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. We do have all of the updates on other players, but to be honest, right now I just want to change a different, put a different face out there and talk about someone different, because it is important about what's happening with Antony right now. There is something going on with him which I think really shows Manchester United and where we're actually at. The fact that we know he's on stupid wages that no one can afford. We know he is wanting to leave Manchester United. That is a definite right now. Antony wants out. He knows, and this is another good thing, amidst all of the negative stuff right now, another good thing that Ruben Amorim has made it clear to certain players about their game time. Now, obviously, and I keep on saying this, but it does play a massive part in everything right now. If Antony gets regular football, he has got a chance of being in that World Cup in 2026. It's going to be the biggest World Cup in decades. The money that Trump is pumped into this and promised FIFA, it is going to be a spectacle. Everyone wants to be part of. So you can talk about player salaries. You can talk about players not bothered about sitting on the side, like they want to be part of this World Cup. It is everything. Even the players that you would say are the sulkers, the ones that really don't care, they want to be part of something. So this is forcing a lot of moves right now. And Antony has been offered. I'm just going to read the story out, actually, because this has come from the Saudi sources. From the other side of things, several player agents have offered Antony the opportunity to move to a club in the Saudi Pro League in the transfer window. Antony received a promise from one of the agents to bring him an offer from a Saudi club. However, he declined, preferring to negotiate directly with the club without any intermediary. He is considering leaving Manchester United, as we know. That's a story and a tweet that's come out from the Saudi Pro League side of things regarding Antony. He doesn't want to go to the Saudi Pro League because of reasons I've just explained. The lure of money or playing in a World Cup. That literally is what's happening right now. And you cannot argue against it. It's there. It's facing everybody right now. And I think every single player has got a decision to make. Manchester United's situation really is dictating what players do in this transfer window right now. Antony, I think, is a player that I've said this all along. I would rather keep Antony in the squad right now. With what's going on, with everything, and we're going to have this conundrum again tomorrow night. No Dallo, he's suspended right now. Antony could be useful for Manchester United. Scenarios like this are going to come about from now until the end of the season. United are fighting on two fronts. 2 trophies can be won this season. We're not going to buy anyone. The window is shut down for Manchester United bringing anybody in. The stories last night from the Telegraph about United being very aware of teams trying to come in and take players away, because yes, we did pass PSR finances for the year 2024, but the ones leading up to the end of this year, 2025 in June, are very, very worrying for Manchester United, and they are bracing themselves. So we do need to move players on, which is why we're going to touch on the Garnacho side of things in a moment. But when players like Antony and you know you're not going to make any money for him. He's not going to make any dent whatsoever in Manchester United's PSR situation. Ineos need to make a decision. Look, Ruben Amorim isn't going to play him. Can you get anybody else through? If you can't, it's pointless even looking at Antony right now and moving him on. It's worthless. You could get a bit of his wages off the bill. Look, Real Betis want United to pay over half of Antony's wages right now. So you're going to lose a squad player who could come in handy, who has given United a little bit of something different in Ruben Amorim's time at the football club already. Or you could have him off the books with no one there, and you're saving what? Maybe 60, 70 grand a week in wages. It's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. Saudi Pro Leagues are looking at Antony. You would get a bid from them. The wages would be covered, no problem. I don't think they're going to loan a player. They don't do loans. They only buy. But Antony doesn't want to move to the Saudi Pro League. He wants to go through the club, and the club know that his stance is, I won't move there. So I feel like where this story has come out and Antony has been offered a way out of Manchester United, the new way out for him would be the Saudi Pro League. He has moved away from that obvious route out of Manchester United and gone back onto the football club, and now United are left with a situation where they know nobody wants him, they know nobody wants to pay for him, and they know that Ruben Amorim isn't using him. Yes, like we said last night, the recruitment issue that has caused all of the problems around any future planning for Manchester United is there staring us right in the face again with Antony right now. Don't sell him, don't loan him, use him. He will put the work in. We know he's a grafter. Look, he's not the best player. Honestly, right now, this way out through the Saudi Pro League, I just think we should be ignoring it. I don't think we should be loaning him out to Real Betis because I don't see anybody stepping up. We cannot afford to let him go. We should be putting all of our priorities into selling Casemiro right now. He's a player that needs to be moved on. And obviously his wages are the stumbling block for a lot of teams at the moment, apart from the Saudi Pro League. But until they, like we said before, move players on, we cannot take Casemiro out of the equation. I just think Ineos need to hold firm. They need to make a big decision right now on what United are doing with transfers and how they look at it. As players, you've got like different levels. You've got the Rashford level transfer, the Garnacho, then the Antony and Casemiro situation, I feel. That's where United are at. We've got no movement and no news on any other player leaving United for any money right now. Ineos are going to have to take a bit of a hit somewhere along the lines here because there are players at this club that just won't get the fees that they are thinking of. They're not going to get the money that they want for these players right now. I want to know, just get into the chat right now for what it is. If you're saving maybe 60 grand or whatever it is a week, I'm only guessing at that price. That's not what Betis have offered. Antony's on 200 grand a week. Obviously, that's a little bit subsidised with not being in the Champions League. So we're guessing that Real Betis want Manchester United to pay more than 100 grand a week in wages for Antony to play for them. Seems harsh, doesn't it? Especially when you've got a player there that isn't really kicking up a stink and he will put a shift in for you. I said it before. Players like Antony could be vital for Manchester United and this running. He will give players that bit of rest, that 20, 30 minutes off that are really busting a gut. It's like Mazraoui's playing week in, week out. He's going to be moved again tomorrow, isn't he, against Southampton. Antony's needed at this football club right now. I can't believe we're even saying it, but forget Saudi, forget loaning him out. There's no one coming into Manchester United. We talk about players coming in. We had Graham Bailey yesterday talking about Chilwell coming in. I'm sorry, no. There's no way that I would have Antony over Chilwell. I would play him on either bleeding side ahead of Chilwell in what he brings. There's pointless United going paying another medical bill for someone else who's not going to contribute to this team. So when it comes down to what's important right now, again, it's Ruben Amorim. Again, it's United actually winning the FA Cup, winning the Europa League, because it guarantees you European spots in both levels of the competition, levels of Europe. So FA Cup will get us the Europa League. Europa League will get us the Champions League. That's it. They're your big priorities right now. And you are going to, with the amount of games that are involved now from this point to the end of the season, with United fighting on all fronts there, you're going to have players like Antony. And because we're sending all of the academy players out on loan. So I think Ruben Amorim should be just saying, look, we know you want to play more game time. Nobody's taking you. We want you to fit into this squad rotation system, and then we will promise you a move in the summer. That's the decision that needs to be made. There's your dilemma right there. Keeping Antony. It sounds crazy that we're even debating Antony right now, but honestly, He needs to be in this squad, I feel. I don't think United can afford to lose him right now. I still cannot believe I'm even saying that right now, but that's the situation we're in because of Ineos' stance in this window right now. And I'll move on to what that stance is and the problem that it's causing right now on the other two. But quickly, just get into the chat. Do we need to be keeping Antony this season now? Does he need to stay at United? Almost 150 likes already. Thank you, everybody. Amazing job already. Please get your likes in as well. We've got over 1,000 in the room. Please do make sure you have subscribed as well so you can get involved in the chat. That's where we're heading right now. Why not bring a striker from our academy in against Southampton? That is the problem. None of them are effectively ready. Wheatley's going to be going out on loan. They've brought Hugo back. I thought he would have been brought through. He's not ready apparently. They would have sent him back on loan. Ethan Williams is being sent out on loan. Everybody right now in our academy is not ready according to what Manchester United are doing, and that's the problem we've got. We've got a serious issue with trying to integrate our youth players. Don't think Ruben Amorim likes them. The good thing that Ruben Amorim has done, he has isolated everyone. Not so isolate, it's the wrong word. He's segregated everyone. He's put everybody into different parts of importance, I think, in this squad right now, and it's quite clear to see. But we are going to be left short because I don't think he's going to use players that he just doesn't think are up for it, and these are the ones we need to be moving on. I think Antony will do a job more than what Casemiro will do, because I don't think he's up for what he wants to do, but Antony will bomb up and down that wing. Tell Antony it's nice and warm and they will treat him like a prince in Saudi. The situation with Antony is if he wants to be in the World Cup, then he has to take a pay cut or he stays at United. Director Me says, so basically Ineos have zero solutions for any problems we have as far as offloading of players. It's concerning. Yes, it is. Bal says, fidget spinner taking my shooting opportunities, cutting in when I am open. It kicks the ball like a fairy. Bin the Brazilian. I get it. I do get it. I know a lot of people actually do just want Antony out of the way and gone. I do as well. I don't think he's good enough. I'm just looking at the now. And the now is Manchester United are really struggling. You look at the situation, for instance, right now with I'll talk about Marcus Rashford first. And a story coming out this morning from Daniele Longo is that AC Milan are expecting a response from Marcus Rashford's brother/agent in the next few hours. So today, we're expecting some form of response to what they have proposed. Now, the issue with Marcus Rashford, again, is just bordering just pure complication. It really is right now. Just reading into certain things that were going on with AC Milan yesterday, TalkSport was saying that AC Milan are preferring Kyle Walker over Marcus Rashford. Now, we know the Brexit EU situation play a thing where they've only allowed one non-EU player into an Italian club in a transfer window. So it's either Rashford or Walker. TalkSport saying that they're preferring Walker. Sky Sports are saying that they're preferring Marcus Rashford. Now, we did report the other day about Noah Akapo as well, that that AC Milan were trying to move him on to make space for Marcus Rashford. Now, apparently it's been said by Sky Germany that he has failed his medical at RB Leipzig. I know, can you seriously believe what is going on right now? So he has failed his medical for RB Leipzig, and apparently Sky Germany is saying that deal is now off. Now, that may change. I'm just reading into the news that's there right now. What does that do? That was basically 68 grand's worth of wages off the bill to help go towards bringing Rashford in. So as AC Milan's circumstances changed all of a sudden, if they cannot move the forward on, does that mean that they're just going to go straight in for a defender and take Kyle Walker away? Right now, at that and where it is and what will come today, we'll find out. It clearly is that obviously Ruben Amorim wants rid of Marcus Rashford. The images that Rashford put up last night of him training alone in the gym in Stretford, nowhere near Manchester United, not at Carrington or anything like that. Now, I know that players do obviously take their own time out to do extra training and things like that, so you could say it's just that, but it just looks like he's this figure a complete million miles away from the reckoning of Manchester United right now. And even if you look at it in the way of saying, look, he's just doing extra training, he's trying to get back fit. United have come out and said apparently he's training on his own, away from the rest of the squad to recover from illness. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. We said that yesterday, that we're not buying that, but when you look at Marcus Rashford, the situation you've got right now, him posting videos of himself training away from Carrington, I feel doesn't help anything. I said this last night. I feel like that's just another jab. That's Rashford on his own in another gym, feeling like he's been completely isolated to me. Just knowing how he works and what happens with Marcus Rashford. I know you've got to put it out there, him in the gym, training and doing what he can to actually attract other clubs to come in as well. But this is causing a problem for Manchester United. It's not looking good. The image of Rashford training on his own away from Carrington right now does not look good for Manchester United at all. And whichever way you look at it, whether that puts off people wanting to buy him and the situation, big fallout with a well-respected coach at Manchester United, who is a Manchester United lad. Is he really? Is he a problem? Do we want this at our club right now? Are there other targets there? You look at Juventus all of a sudden getting Moani over the line now. I'll touch on that in a minute as well. But Marcus Rashford is a real issue for Manchester United right now in what's happening with these posts going on. The longer this deal drags out, if this doesn't work out, if they cannot move him on or are happy to subsidise his wages in some way, INEOS, you've got to integrate that player back into Ruben Amorim with everything going the way it's going right now. So without Rashford training with the squad, without Rashford any part of Manchester United right now, we've had the biggest upturn of the season so far for Ruben Amorim. This has been the best it's been, the best feel-good factor, the best vibe around the football club it's been since Ruben Amorim's been here. He's got something out of these players, and then you want that situation thrown right back in there. And I don't want to go down too hard on Rashford here in this, but you know what I'm saying. If it was a problem before, that isn't going to change. He's had problems with every single manager. INEOS, sorry, just take the hit. You're going to have to get rid of Marcus Rashford and pay some of his wages. Get him out of the way for this season and re-deal with the problem in the summer. Otherwise, he could be the one thing that really causes Manchester United a big issue from now until the end of the season. And he could literally be the problem that stops United getting to where we want to. Because as long as he's there, people are going to be pushing for him to go into this team. These people will be putting pressure on Manchester United. Why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? He's training. Look, Ruben already knows. He knew before he came in. We've reported on that before. He hasn't got the work rate. He doesn't do what Ruben wants. You cannot afford to have him like what Jadon Sancho was last season, completely away from the rest of the first team on the money that he's on, causing problems within Manchester United. It's a bad vibe. And everything right now, and how long this has dragged on for, 2 weeks in now to the window, and still no closer it would seem to Marcus Rashford moving. We're just waiting. There are positives in terms of talks, but we're just waiting around to see what the next move is. The longer this drags on, the more posts you're going to get from Rashford like this, training on his own, the look, and everything that I've brought in there into the conversation and talked about is not going to help sell him. INEOS are the only ones right now that can make this go away. It's on them, and everybody's watching. They need to take the hit on the wages and get rid of him. We said it last night. Is it not just a no-brainer? You've got a man there that's not going to play for United now under Ruben Amorim on what wages? God knows what wages. Or you've got a man there that could be playing football on less wages, bumping up his value so you can sell him in the summer. Because if Rashford doesn't move in January, everything that they had planned for the summer and the price that they wanted for him is completely gone. It's as simple as that. It's gone. Because if he's not on the pitch, he's not worth anything. And that's dead. Stop haggling over money. Just get this deal done. Subsidise him. Pay what you've got to pay to get it over the line. If you have to pay half of his wages, just pay it. It's better than having nothing. And nothing would be if Rashford stays and is worthless in the summer to us. That's exactly where we're at with this right now. When it comes to these deals, there's a clear avenue as well that United have to look at and say, look, PSG have just loaned out Kolo Muani. Now, according to everybody, Ben Jacobs, everyone who was talking, there was an obligation to buy. How have Juventus managed to get Muani in with no obligation to buy? Well, they've paid all of his wages. So there is money there. There are teams there that have got money. How are United not pushing this across to other clubs? Now, Muani isn't on what Marcus Rashford's on, but Muani's wages are approximately 150 grand a week at PSG. Juventus, according to Romano, are paying all of that. There is definitely ways around this. And it just makes INEOS look more like tight asses in not paying some of Marcus Rashford's wages. Seriously, the Italian clubs have got money. They can afford to take these players in on wages. All we have to do is just make it a little bit easier for them. Are they willing to do it? It doesn't look like it at the moment. That's the big problem. And they need to start making moves on this. They need to start accepting that clubs are just not going to pay. They're not going to pay what they want. They can do the deals in the summer, but in a January transfer window, welcome to the real world, INEOS. This is what you're dealing with right now. You've brought a manager in mid-season after appointing or keeping Ten Hag in the summer. This is your mess. You're the ones who are going to have to suffer for it. Get this deal out of the way. And that moves us then on to Garnacho as well. I'm going to talk about on what's happening with him, but I want to just get into the comment section again with this. Thank you, everybody who's joining us. Around 1,500 in the room with us live. Thank you for all of your comments coming in. Please give the video a like. Make sure you have subscribed as well to Forever United TV. Cheers, everybody. Benny says, this is exactly why United need him gone. All about Rashford. Look at the way Maguire conducted himself, the professional Rashford. Great point from Benny there, because you look at what Ruben Amorim's talking about with Maguire right now compared to Marcus Rashford. Both underperforming on the pitch, but both went at it a completely different way. Maguire turned his season around last season. Rashford's went down completely off the hill. And that's the difference. Maguire, after 2 more centre-backs got brought in this summer, has found his way into the first team. Why? Because he's professional, because he works, because he grafts and gets down to what's needed at training and listens to the manager. Rashford, Mr. Ego Trip, no, dummies out. There's a difference. Great point from Benny in the chat there. Amorim don't have to play him. Ozil never played for Arsenal and was there for ages. Different scenario altogether. PSR wasn't around then, and United are struggling for 2025 for PSR. So United need to be able to sell him. That's the difference right now. You could afford to have players rotting away, and Ruben cannot afford him to be there doing nothing. United need to move him on. It doesn't work for United. It doesn't work for Rashford. It doesn't work for Ruben. There are only one person, one person in charge of a lot of people who can sort this out right now. If Rashford's happy to go to a certain place, United need to do what they can to make that happen. Simple as. Subsidise whatever. Get a deal done. Best suits you for the circumstances. Yep. Obviously, don't bend over completely about take a knee and just give up. I don't pay everything, but you have to be able to. There has to be a little give and take, and United do need to find that medium ground. Otherwise, this is going to cause nightmares for us going forward. Rashford is looking for a free transfer. He's not going to get a free transfer. He's still contracted for another 3 years. Block, surely on 350k a week, Rashford has a gym at home. This is purely a publicity stunt. Honestly, on that one, completely agree, Block. Like, this guy is on absolute Brewsters. To be looking at, to be recording yourself on a bike in a gym somewhere else. Honestly, he just wants to be seen. That is what that is for me. You're dead right about that. He'll have a bike at home. He'll have training where he can do it. It's like everything that gets posted on social media for Rashford is for Rashford. That's it. All his PR is for him. There's nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's not going to benefit anybody else. It may just show that Rashford's actually out and at it, and people would want to see that he is trying at least and trying to sell him. That would be a benefit. That's about it. Someone else looking in on the situation. Look, he's at it. He's training. He's taking his own time here to get back and get back in the side. But that's it. Like, the agents will tell you that. The agents will send you pictures and tell everybody who's buying him that he's training again and doing this. They can't lie. They can't afford to lie. He's got to pass a medical anyway. So, realistically, this is all just a PR stunt for him again. Put it out on social media. If Rashford was playing under Sir Alex Ferguson, he was gone years ago. 100% he would. I don't think anyone at this club would be surviving if Sir Alex was still here. I'm getting this uneasy feeling that we're going to be no outgoings or incomings. Glazer Excel spreadsheets. I don't think it's down to the Glazers, to be honest. It's PSR spreadsheets and what INEOS' situation is right now and how they adapt to it. That there is a way out of this, and United can actually make something happen here. It's if we want it to happen. It really is. And they can do things that will move things along very, very quickly, but it's if they're willing to do it. I don't expect INEOS to sort out Woodward and Murtaugh's shit in a few months. This could take a few years easier. It's down to the players to move on, but they have no reason to in contract. Yeah, exactly. Great point again, Gray there. INEOS gets stick if they don't get money for players and getting the same with no one going. That's social media and a lot of different opinions. Look, the obvious is there. Like, you can have opinions. I've got my opinion, but dealing with facts. Look, we know that Italian clubs can afford the wages. We know that Manchester United can let Rashford go and subsidise the wages to make this more of an appealing attraction to other clubs. It's up to them. It's up to them if they do that. If they feel like they can get the best out of Marcus Rashford's situation financially, then that's on them. They're the ones making this decision. We all know that that's not going to happen. Everybody knows where Marcus Rashford is right now. And like the Telegraph was saying last night, teams are coming to United to take advantage of a situation. Now, this will all be gone soon enough. A few windows down the line, like Gray said, it's not going to be fixed in just 1 year in charge for INEOS. But later down the line, we will be able to actually negotiate proper transfers and get into real issues. Not have the real issues that we've got right now. I think that's where we're going to be at. But we have to do what we can right now. That's the problem. And I don't think we are. Cavart and Mendes would have cost 100 million and transformed the team. Finances would have worked out. Such a shame. That's from Ricky Murray. Says, can we get one thing right? It's not supposed to say INEOS. It's not INEOS or Rashford. It's Glazers who still own this club. That's got nothing to do with the situation right now. The Glazers have got zero effect or anything to do with this situation apart from Marcus Rashford's wages right now. That's it. And yeah, they may own the club, but INEOS are running it. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, we would have already done a loan deal like we did with Jadon Sancho, because that's what we did last season. Point was proven in the last window. Without INEOS, this deal probably would have already been done because United subsidised Sancho's wages. Now, luckily, we managed to get all them wages back from that deal, which is why I've always said, look, at the end of the day, you've got your get out of jail, which is Dortmund. Let's hope that Dortmund don't take Ten Hag. Actually, no. If Dortmund do take Ten Hag, then they might actually get Rashford. They might get him in a different scenario. You never know. But, yeah, because Ten Hag was the one that was backing Rashford consistently all the time. So, yeah, I feel there is still a deal there for Rashford to be done. I think INEOS have got an opportunity. And I think, in the end, I'm worried. I am. Because I don't want Rashford near this squad. But I still think there's enough time to get this done. I think INEOS can come down to some agreement with someone. Honestly, if Juventus can afford what they're paying Mawani for wages, which is 100% covered, according to Romano, approximately 150 grand a week in wages, there is money there. There is structure there in the Italian league right now. It's all down to Manchester United subsidising it to that point, really. If you've got maybe 100 grand of Rashford's wages covered by AC Milan, you get that deal done. They're paying approximately 140 grand a week for Morata right now. You know they can afford it. So if they're offering you 100 grand a week of Rashford's wages, you take that deal. You let him go and play football. You let them get a hold of him, build something around him, do whatever. Maybe that way you will get more money for him in the summer. That's how you make it happen. I need to move on to Garnacho. That's enough of Marcus Rashford, the Garnacho situation, and where that is at right now. Let's get into that. So Damasio out this morning talking about where the situation is, and United standing firm with Garnacho. Now this is the other side of transfers. Rashford compared to Garnacho, don't even compare the two. Two different ends of the spectrum altogether. We like Garnacho. He's training hard. He's performing. He's contributing. Rashford's not. Forget it. Separate them. United standing firm on Garnacho, I haven't got a problem with at all. Because this is a player that can prosper, isn't costing United a lot of money right now, and is performing, like I said, and Ruben is happy with him right now. Otherwise, he won't be in the team. But the potential transfer of Alejandro Garnacho to Napoli remains complicated at the moment. This is due to Manchester United's demand of 70 million. which has not been lowered in recent hours. So yeah, in terms of update from yesterday, Damasio is basically saying that Garnacho isn't going anywhere. He's not going to Napoli. We know that Conte wants him. We know that Kvaratskhelia is definitely leaving for PSG. And that deal is done. They want a replacement in as soon as possible. Garnacho is a top target. The story about it being Garnacho or Werner. I mean, seriously, is anyone believing that? Maybe Werner on loan, but nobody's spending money on Timo Werner. I'm sorry. No one is doing that. So, yeah, Garnacho, 70 million right now. Nothing is budged. Nothing is moving on that deal. Damasio has said that Manchester United are holding firm on this. And obviously we got the report last night from the Daily Mail from Chris Wheeler saying that it's all agent-driven. Manchester United would only sell Garnacho if a substantial bid came in. I think that all aligns quite well, and I think that's where Manchester United are at with this. They are going to accept an offer if it comes in at the right mark, but unless that starts going north of 50 million, United are not even going to negotiate. So Garnacho stays. No problem. No issue. I think that's the situation we're at right now with that one. But yeah, Antony, Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, they're the three main topics at the moment. They're the players that United are really struggling from different ends of the spectrum. So that's why in this video, when we're trying to talk about how INEOS have to make certain decisions, it's like, you're not going to sell Antony. You're not. You're not going to be able to loan him. Keep him. He's useful. Garnacho, if the right bid comes in, then we sell him. Simple as that. If someone comes in and offers you like approximately 60 million for Garnacho, I actually don't think he's ever going to get more valuable than that. The question you've got to ask is, does he fit into Amorim's system for that money? Because that's money you cannot turn down. When that money comes in, then you have to say, look, you look at the prices of players right now in the world. Is Garnacho ever going to get to the level that Kvaratskhelia is at 80 million euros? So approximately, what's that? Just under 70 million quid. And you're talking about Garnacho going for 60. If that bid comes in, that is, obviously. If that bid comes in, I don't think his values in the current market ever going to get more than that. And that for Man United is a decision that you have to make. Is Garnacho valuable enough to stay? Is he valuable? Is his value more than 60 million in staying at Manchester United? That's the question right now, I think. Is he going to be a player that Ruben Amorim is going to use week in, week out? If not, 60 million goes on to a player who is. And that's the difference right now. Manchester United's whole outlook in PSR and the summer transfer window changes completely if Garnacho is sold in January. Everything is covered. We will then move the other players on, make more money, and United could actually start to look at possibly another 200 million plus rebuild spend in the summer. That's where we're at right now. Personally, if you were to ask me, the situation with these three players that we just spoke about, in particular, Rashford goes, Garnacho and Antony stay. That's where my head is at right now. What do you reckon in the chat, everybody? Get into the comments and let me know. Just under 1,700 in the room. I love that, everybody. Make sure you get the likes in, over 300 of them in as well. Rudvesh says, I don't think Rashford has that issue. He may party here and there, but that's not his main issue. His main issue is his terrible entourage who are selling him something which he is not. Yeah, Brogan says, Garnacho ain't even on Kvaratskhelia level, and he won't get there either. He's just not technical enough. And that's the point I'm making. Is his value right now the highest it's ever going to be? This is when United need to make a decision. And again, it's down to INEOS. They're the only ones who can change this window. I don't think he's worth 40 million. I do think he's worth at least 50 million, Garnacho. If someone comes in north of that, you have to really look at that and go, wow, okay. He's not going to be an £100 million player. You're pretty much near enough at his max value right now. What else is he going to do to change his game to get even better and more valuable to United right now? The only thing you can say and judge this off is he valuable to Ruben Amorim? If he is, he doesn't go. Simple. But if he's going to be a bit part player, he has to be sold. It has to happen. Let's see. What else? Can I show you? I'm just reading through some comments here as well. Sorry. Morgan Mad Dog says, Rashford clearly has mental issues, and although we don't like his lack of performance, he needs professional help. That's been going on for a while. Only time will tell. Time is the greatest healer as well. Imagine we sold Garnacho, Rashford, Antony, Casemiro, Lindelof and Eriksen and brought in 2 or 3, giving youth a chance. Yeah, I mean, talking about youth and moving on right there, it does now look like as well, and this is a little bit of good news, this one as well. It does now look like Toby Collyer is going to be staying at Manchester United this window. Impressed in the FA Cup game. There are reports going around to a point where Casemiro is not obviously a main priority for Ruben Amorim in terms of him being part of his squad or contributing game-wise. And Toby Collyer's performance when he came in, I think has just bumped him up that pecking order a little bit. And now we've got a player there that Ruben Amorim knows can handle the big stage. I think it's great news that Toby Collyer is being thought of as being part of this squad going forward. I want Toby Collyer to be part of Manchester United's team from now until the end of the season, just to see if he gets that chance, if he can be that player. Do you know what I mean? If anything, like, I don't want Toby Collyer to be sold, but you can just imagine the situation. If we've got the likes of Garnacho, Toby Collyer, these players coming through, the money that these players have saved Manchester United over the years is astronomical. But we just haven't cashed in on it. We've kept them at the club, and it's all good and well saying one club players, it's great. There's that love story, the fairy tale story of the player stays at the club all his career. Look, you look at the situation, for instance, with Trent Alexander-Arnold now. If these players get a chance and they actually do thrive in that first team for United, they take their opportunity, then really, this is only going to benefit United in the future because we're going to add value to these players. I'm thinking Toby Collyer, it can play a big part for United from now until the end of the season. I'm absolutely chuffed that he got his chance, and I'm absolutely made up that he actually performed really well in that Arsenal game. So I'm absolutely, totally on board with Toby Collyer now not being moved out on loan. I said this before, I think it was Ruud van Nistelrooy at Leicester wanted him on loan. It would be absolute suicide. You're not playing Casemiro or Eriksen, and you want to loan out Toby Collyer? No. That would just be absolutely mental. Stupid, in fact. So, yeah, Toby stays. Great news. I think he can play a big part. Again, when I talk about Antony and I talk about Toby Collyer, it's the same. Them 2 players on the bench will do United the power of good this season. Being able to come on and actually, you know what, give other players a rest, still perform and come on and impress Ruben Amorim to a point where he may actually think about starting him. Look, I'm at Carrington next week. I'll be there at the press conference of Ruben Amorim, but obviously that game against Rangers is going to be in the picture right now. We win that one, we're pretty much qualified. Near enough already qualified for the knockout phases, guaranteed. There is then an opportunity in that Steaua Bucharest game, the last group game, to rest everybody and play some players that you may want to have a good look at. And this is just still before the end of the January transfer window finishes. So how important that Rangers game is. We beat them, then you're looking then at possibly being able to give all of these players a little bit of a run out in that last game, that last group game. And then you may even get some people watching in on that game, coming at the last minute and make a bid in the January transfer window for some of these players. Actually giving them game time gives them the opportunity to be sold, I feel. And that's the situation we're in right now. So really pushing down on that, I think United need to take advantage of any little deals that can come about. But Toby Collyer definitely not leaving United this January transfer window. Completely on board with that. I think he definitely performed well against Arsenal. I think he 100% can be utilised. 100% can be utilised. Just to quickly recap on everything as well, just so you're completely up to date, just check in. There is nothing else that has come out while we have been live. Great comments from Patrice Evra last night regarding Ruben Amorim. These were interesting. I'll just read them out, actually. Ruben Amorim has a big job to do. I'm not expecting anything from Manchester United this season. He's in the process of seeing who he can go to war with next season and who can adapt to his system. The problem at United isn't the coach. There are less than 10 players who are still at the club after having had 5 coaches sacked. Patrice Evra laying down the facts right now for everybody. I don't think there's any Manchester United fan that disagrees with what Patrice Evra is saying right there. It's all on the players. All on the players. Yes, so just to completely recap on everything. Marcus Rashford training on his own away from United. AC Milan are expecting contract from Dwayne, his agent, in the next few hours today on their proposal and where they're at with it. AC Milan's Noah Akpor has failed his medical at RB Leipzig. This is the player that we're looking to move on to make room for Rashford. He's failed his medical at RB Leipzig. So that, at the moment, according to Sky Germany, is off. So I don't know how that affects Marcus Rashford's situation. Garnacho, Manchester United are standing firm with him. 70 million. They're not even considering anything less than 50 million. They won't even come to the table. So Napoli, who are interested in, are going to have to up that. We'll see what happens with that today. That was an update from Damasio. And Saudi sources saying that Antony has been offered to the Saudi Pro League. 100% would be offered a deal if he wanted to go. He doesn't know. So that new way out for Antony is definitely not happening, unfortunately. And United are going to have to utilise Antony, like I said. Toby Collyer now seen as one of them unmovable players in January as well. We've just spoke about that, which is great, I feel. And I just want... You know what? This is that key moment, isn't it, where you've got players that you want to be given a chance, getting the chance. And Ruben Amorim being that man that isn't going to play them blocker players. He's playing ahead of Eriksen and Casemiro right now. That's how good that is. The fact that we have got all of the lowest earning players at Manchester United on the pitch, barring Bruno Fernandes right now, and everybody else on the bench, who honestly eclipse what them players on the pitch are earning. It's embarrassing. But Ruben Amorim has just opened everybody's eyes at Manchester United. Every single football fan right now looking in at United have been are just now completely in the picture with everything that's going on. I hear fans and opposition fans talking to me like, how has this situation come about? I said, this has been here for years, but nobody sees it. All anybody sees is Marcus Rashford, for instance, playing out in an England shirt. And everyone's love affair with him and everything like this. The Casemiro situation, the Eriksen one, the Antony one. You've got opposition fans talking to me saying, God, I forgot that they were even there. I don't know. And the fact that they're on absolute Brewsters compared to players that are actually on the pitch, it just shows this has all come about because Ruben Amorim has stood firm. And there's only one person ahead of him in Sir Jim Radcliffe and his merry men who can help him out and rectify the situation. He has outed the problem. Now you've got to deal with it. It's as simple as that. That's where INEOS are at right now, and they need to act on this. Otherwise, Ruben is going to be left, honestly, with his tail between his legs, not knowing what to do. It's going to make him look like an idiot, and it's going to make his situation even harder going from now until the end of the season. Face value, mate, about 98 for the two. Someone's selling tickets. I like it. Do what you got to do. Let's get some more comments in. They won't play Casemiro until the end of the transfer window, so he doesn't get injured. Yep, I completely agree with that one. But still, it does show you, doesn't it, what he thinks. I want him gone. We need to sell him for one reason or another. Even if you look at it that way in the transfer market and how they don't want to risk injury and he has to go, then they may have to bring him back in after February if he isn't sold on. Sad situation, it really is. But still, honestly, just back the manager, back Ruben Amorim. The crowd will be behind that. The fans will be behind that. United will move forward. Take the hit, INEOS. It's not your fault, but I think the finances dictate where United are at right now. You have to. Please give the video a like, everybody. We're about to hit that 400 live like mark. We are, 28 subscribers away from 71k. Absolutely buzzing with that. Thank you, everybody. Keep your comments coming in. We're going to finish with a few of your comments. Almac says, I'm not impressed by INEOS and Sir Jim Radcliffe. They talk a good game, but haven't delivered. Let's see. We'll give them to the end of this window to see where we're at with the situation. I think that's what every United fan could probably... We'll give them that, I think. We really should bring back Reguilon on loan for the left-back cover. Never go back, they say. I always got an issue with going back. I come here for proper football talk. Most of the other channels just waffle on BS. You're always on good points, Adam. Well done. Thank you for that, mate. Man United Planet. Love that comment right there. That's what it is all about. Giving people a chance to have their say as well. Let's see what we've got. I can't make Rangers. Oh, people actually just... I like it. Everyone helping each other out in the chat with tickets as well. That's what it's all about. What a community we have here on Forever United TV. And for now, that is it. We will be back later with the press conference update and any other news that is going around Manchester United. I will have you completely updated on that. So what you need to do from here is make sure you have subscribed and got your bell notification on so you know when the content's coming. You will be notified then on YouTube. Of course, please give the video a like on the way out, and that will take us over 400. Over 1,700 for most of the show. I love that. Thank you so much, everybody. You are all legends in my eyes. And we move on from here. Have a fantastic day, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you for the press conference, unless something big happens.